Yo. You're in the mix.
The world's finest, man. DJ.
We're doing it live, and we're doing it real on YouTube. It's the What's the Real Deal radio show every Friday night weekly.
Oh my God. Shut the front door.
What?
If you're weak-minded or sensitive, you might get your feelings hurt in here. Jump up game with the fam. And remember to like, share, and subscribe.
What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich here from Big Rich Live on the Mic Radio Show here on YouTube. And welcome to the next installment of What's the Real Deal. Hope that you guys' week was good, plentiful, positive, and you got everything that you needed to get done this week. Everything that you hope to get done this week, I hope that you got it done. Again, we back in the building better than ever, trying to do it big. We're going to get straight to the point, straight to the subject. You know how I pick the subjects for each show. It's just basically taking all of the emails, tweets, direct messages, and all that stuff that I get throughout the week. And I basically put them all together and what interests me and what I got the most inquiries about, I do. So this week we're going to talk about the meeting early this week between the president and roughly, depending on who you talking to or who you listening to, about 100 presidents and chancellors of historically black colleges and universities. First thing that I think about in this situation is like, here we go again, a bunch of traders and coons and lap dogs, going to kiss the ring at the right hand of massa. But then I also understand that, unfortunately, a large part of funds to run these HBCUs comes from the federal government. You follow what I'm saying? And we'll get in towards the end of the show, the tail end of the show, we'll get into how I feel about that. But because you have a large contingent of your finances that the purse strings are controlled by the president and the administration, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? When you are summoned, if you will, they say invited. No, they were summoned. You got to go. Because if you don't go, then your university or college runs the risk of the backlash from the administration, and you wind up not getting anything. So they had to go. Now, you guys have heard me on many occasions say that I have no problem with people of stature or people who are trying to do something for the less of these, for our community, going and meeting with the president, and before he was the official president, the president-elect. I have no problem with that as long as you're going to do something, or as long as you are bringing people to push the agenda, to push a positive agenda, an enlightening agenda. I have no problem. You'd be a fool to cut your nose off to spite your face if you're being invited to have a true dialogue. But see, what a lot of people fail to realize is, and don't get me wrong, I've been to the White House and all that type of stuff, tours, and, I read and study and stuff like that, but I have no inside knowledge. But if you, from the research that I've done over these years, very few people get to sit down and actually discuss policy or change or anything like that with the president of any president of the United States, because they are so full. I mean, their day from when they wake up to when they go to sleep is pretty much full. You follow what I'm saying? So the first president to come out and say something about them being duped or lied to was the Dillard College president, and I don't have his name available. I'm so sorry. He came out like the next day and basically said that, and I'm looking for it now. And basically, let me read it here. It says, on Friday, I learned that I was selected. I'm sorry. His name is Dr. Walter M. Kimbrough. And he says, on Friday, this was last Friday, I learned that I was selected to give remarks today at the meeting at the White House with members of the Trump administration, most notably Education Secretary Betsy DeVos. Right. This is somebody who is a millionaire, if not a billionaire, has no business running the Department of Education. She is unqualified. I'm not even talking about her personal views. I'm talking about she has no background in education. She has surrounded herself with people who have no background in education. So basically, she's winging it. Okay. But anyway, I digress. We'll talk about that on another show. Says we learned this weekend that there will be closing remarks by Vice President Pence. But the goal was for officials for a number of federal agencies, about 5, and Secretary DeVos to hear from the HBCUs. So that all blew up when a decision was made to take this to the president's Oval Office to see the president, or take us to the Oval Office to see the president. I'm still processing the entire experience, but needless to say that through the day off, and there was very little listening to the HBCU presidents today. So he wrote it later on that day. It says we were only to be given 2 minutes each. That was cut to 1 minute. So only 7 or maybe 15 or so speakers were given an opportunity today. So you say according to him, between 7 and 15 actually spoke, and they actually spoke to the president. They only spoke for a minute, if that long, out of 100. Okay, so my problem is, how do you go into that situation expecting anything different? If you have any type of common sense to understand what actually goes on. First of all, you sit back and you think, okay, this man is pulling 100 of us, summoning 100 of us to talk at the White House, right? Ain't this eerily similar to the so-called 100 black clergy that he had come to him, where Darrell Scott and Miss Madigo, cooned and shucked and jive and jive ass and all of that type of stuff in front of the camera. And nobody really got to speak or say anything other than them two fools. Actually, Madigo really don't say a whole lot. She in the background is that idiot Scott. But anyway, so you should have known, okay, he's showing you what he all about. So you shouldn't go in there with any expectation on it. Now, you got to be there. I've already explained that you got to be there. You got to go. But how do you get disappointed when you know what you're dealing with? That's just like a virgin spending the night in a high capacity, a highly locked down prison for a week, and then when she comes out and she is impregnated and she's been raped 100 times, she's surprised. You went into the valley of the beast. You went in to the snake pit. Why are you surprised that you got bit multiple times and then put out in the street? Why? I mean, I just don't understand that. And then later, probably a day or two later, the president of Morehouse was saying that they got duped. Dude, I might have an MBA, but I'm not a quote unquote scholar. I knew that when I saw the damn picture. It is so funny that only 7 between, and this is an average, between 7 and 15 of the 100 got to speak, and they only got to speak for a minute to the president, but everybody got to take that damn picture. You follow what I'm saying? So my thing is this is me. This is me. I know I got to go. Okay, I'm a president of a HBCU, right? I know I got to go. I know I got to play the game because let's just say 50%, 60% or whatever of my funds or my yearly funds come to me through the federal government. So for the sake of my faculty, for my college, for my students, I have to capitulate. Okay. But I don't have to lose everything. You follow what I'm saying? I don't have to lose my dignity. So, okay, cool. I'm there, but let me tell you, I'm not posing for that picture. I'm going to be in a position where you can't even see me. I'm not going to allow him to get the last laugh, because one thing you could say about, there's only one, and I can't even say positive because I don't think there's any positive about this man. But if you held my feet to the fire and say one positive, he is a salesman. He is. He's a snake oil salesman. He knows how to dress up shit. Sorry. I mean, really, listen to him. He makes some people, weak-minded, ignorant people, if you will, believe a lie. You feel me? So you have, and then right after that, like a day after that, you have quote unquote black publications. How are you a black publication but you own by the dominant society? Okay. Basically what that is the dominant society is owning something that is structured to tell black people what's going on, how they, to inform them how they should think, how they should feel. And I'm talking about Essence. This is their headlines the next day. Trump had a sit-down meeting with the heads of 100 HBCUs. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Why would you run with something like that? No, he didn't. He took a shot, a picture that he used for false propaganda. He spoke to between 7 and 15, according to the presidents that was there. Last time I checked, the Essence people wasn't there in the room. Okay. So somebody who was in the room, somebody who was asked to give closing remarks, assuming he was asked by the other presidents and chancellors. He's saying Trump didn't meet with 100 people. Trump only met with between 7 and 15. They had a minute. Do you know how long a minute is when you trying to have a conversation? Really? Let me tell you something. This is what I tell my detractors, my Trump supporters, people who vehemently disagree with me. I tell them, look, show me the positives. Show me the positives that he has done, that he has said, that has helped the entire country. Show me. I'm the first one that jumped on President Obama for his. I've said that before. I think President Obama is a good man. I really feel he's a good man, and he is the image of a man, whether white, black, brown, red, yellow, that you should aspire your son to be. The image. Now the substance, I got a problem with a lot of things. I got a problem with the way he did certain things. I originally had a problem, and I don't want to get off on a tangent, but I'll just say this. I originally had a problem with the way he was perceived to treat the president, chancellors of HBCUs and the Congressional Black Caucus. But again, you know me. I just don't listen to other people. I do my research. And when I found out why, I was like, I did the same shit. They were bullshitting. Excuse my French. You know what I'm saying? And he just called them on that bullshit. So anyway. So you sit back there and say this Trump had a sit-down meeting with heads of HBCU. No, he didn't. Really? Now, towards the end, They were supposedly met with Mike Pence, and Education Secretary Betty DeVos. I've said this before when we was talking about Betty DeVos. She shouldn't be the Education Secretary at all. And Mike Pence, look at his history. This is another one. Show me when he gave a damn about black people. When he was the governor of Indiana. Show me I'm wrong. Show me where I'm wrong. Anything. And I know a lot of people, because I get this, towards the end, the end of my shows and in the comments and stuff. I get, why has it got to be about this? Why has it got to be about race? Show me what Barack Obama did for black people, this, that, and the third. It's always about race. Believe it or not, it's always about race. Whether you want to believe, not believe it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, it's always about race. Everything is done by the color of your skin, period. And Barack Obama didn't do much for black people. You follow what I'm saying? My thing is, let me tell you something. If Trump and Pence, if they just came out and said what they think, that they don't give a damn about black people, brown people, marginalized, poor people, they just don't care. Cool. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? I can respect that, because it's like, I know where you're coming from. Okay, cool. You don't like me, I don't like you. Let's move on. I'm gonna fight you tooth and nail. You gonna fight me tooth and nail. We gonna keep it moving like it is. But to sit around here with this dog and pony show, okay, this just goes back to slavery. Madigo, Scott, Carson, straight coons. Basically, they house people. They house boys and girls. They can sit at the right hand of Massa to allow him to look like he give a damn about people who look like you or people who look like me. Really. It's so funny how now people are pissed off that I don't know. I didn't hear it. But again, it's coming from people who was in the room. He referred to the HBCU Presidents and Chancellors as you people on a myriad of times. Okay, what do you mean you people? What does that mean? Is that you black people? You smart people? What does you people mean? What does that mean? But that's just how arrogant he is. It's. I tell you, this is what I'll say about Trump. I do not feel that Trump deliberately goes out to be a narcissist, to be a bigot, to be a homophobe. I really don't. I don't think that he wakes up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to say the most foul shit available at this day. I'm going to see how many people I can piss off. I really just don't. I don't think that. I just think that he's a clown. I really think that he's a rich, arrogant narcissist who feels that he can say anything he wants to. He's done that his whole life, and that's what got him the presidency. Y'all think, let me tell you something, unless he gets impeached or blown out, I'm talking about in 2020, blown out like a landslide. You watch, let him see what happens after 8 years. See how bad he's going to be then. Because then he has the ultimate validation. Right now he's validated. But the ultimate validation is if he gets reelected and makes it all eight years, screwing the lesser of these and tearing this country apart. You feel me? Some people, I disagree a little bit when people say that he is tearing the country apart. No. The country's always been torn. It has just been stitched up and sutured up, these last, let's say, 20 years, run W's 8 and Obama's 8, 16 years, and then if you want to put Clinton's 8, okay, now you're at 24 years, okay, cool. maybe that's it. But now it is just basically just come under. It just came under, came apart. So my final thought on that is I believe that they got played, but they should have known they was going to get played before they went. You follow what I'm saying? My thing is these presidents and chancellors are doctors. You know what I'm saying? They are educators. They, are the creme de la creme, if you will. They should have known from the giddy up that they was going in there to get played. Period. If you sit around and be like, okay, look, how many people we gonna get? Okay, how long we gonna do? Okay, well, let's do this. Instead of 15 people getting 1 minute, why not we have 2 people? We'll elect 2 people. They go in there and take the whole 15 minutes. He wouldn't have did that. You got to think about it. When you talking about a bigot, a narcissist, a homophobe, they can sit still for 60 seconds. You know what I'm saying? They might even can sit still for 2 minutes because they ain't listening to your ass anyway. But to sit down for 15 minutes and get inundated with questions and these are what we need. This is what we need. He wasn't going to do that. And y'all should have known he wasn't going to do that. So, I mean, like I said, what the deal is. All the people sitting up there talking about, oh, well, you got to go because you got to take somebody and talk to the president and take the Michael Eric Dysons, take the Dr. Claude Andersons, take the Dr. Boyce Watkins. All of that sounds real good on paper. It really does. But the fact of the matter is, you ain't got that time. You ain't going to be given that time. He ain't listening to your ass. So what do you do? You have to come up and inundate. You have to use your own bully pulpit. And I don't know how you do that. I really don't. Okay, maybe if I did, I'd be a dang on scholar. Maybe I'd be a president or a chancellor of somebody's HBCU. But I don't. But I do understand and I do know that the way that is going now, the way that went down on Monday was bullshit and it's never going to change. You have to change it. We have to change it. Okay? So I'll see you next week. I don't know what our subject's going to be. Remember, Big Rich Live on the Mic radio show, Saturday show, be up over the weekend. And, I got some fire for you for our movie review. So in the meantime, in between time, stay blessed, stay safe, stay woke. Peace. I'm out of here.